This is the story of a day in the life of one of the 6 homes run by Manzini Youth Care. Set up in 1978, Manzini Youth aims to provide holistic care for the young people of Swaziland who are at risk through poverty and the spread of HIV/AIDS. Swaziland currently has the world's highest HIV infection rate, with over 42% of pregnant women testing positive. It is against this backdrop that Manzini Youth Care is struggling to cope with the scores of children, many of whom are orphaned, who turn up on the streets of Manzini on an almost daily basis.
Hello, gents. Hook up, gents. Hook up, gents. Hook up, gents.
Sikonyana is the latest of the homes, and as such it is termed the reception centre. Sikonyana is now the home which received the children, which are found by a small research team which goes on the streets, picks the children up, visits their home, puts them there, and then gradually introduces them to a disciplined day where eventually they will be able to sit down for 5 or 6 hours and become normal students. And that ultimately is what we want and what they want. Sikonyana is the beginning of the process that brings them into community.
After a hot breakfast, the boys head off on their 4-mile walk to school.
We have children among the group we have now who will succeed in spite of us or because of us. There are others who need us, and the ones who need us are the ones obviously who would fall by the wayside if we weren't around.
The school day begins with exercise and almost all the boys' favourite sport, football. This not only keeps the boys fit and healthy, but provides an opportunity for team building and, perhaps most importantly, fun. Having stretched their muscles on the football pitch, the boys get the chance to stretch their vocal cords before schoolwork proper begins. The boys are taught a range of subjects from maths to social studies. Special talks are also arranged to make sure the boys fully understand the problems of HIV/AIDS. Getting a good education is paramount if these children are to make it through the Manzini Youth Care system and out into Swazi society. With the morning lessons over, the boys get a well-earned bite to eat. In the afternoons, the boys get involved in a whole range of activities, including sports, swimming, gardening, and once a week, cutting each other's hair.
Tonight's a Thursday night, it's our weekly street night visit. This is when we come out to the regular areas that the boys either sleep or hang out in, try and track down, well, firstly to make contact with new boys that may be in the street, particularly vulnerable boys, young boys, and also to reconnect with some of the boys that we've been seeing for a long time, and perhaps some boys that have stayed with us and have then run off again for a variety of reasons.
Greg and Zdumo head off into the back streets, and it doesn't take them long before they come across a group of boys and young men living beneath a row of shops.
The kids here range in ages from 10 years old. Some of the older guys that have been out here for a while, and you know, this is their place where they live, this is their home. The big risk here is the younger kids and the older men are together. My role here in Manzini Youth Care was to get a system going, because with the expectation of this being a bigger problem in the future with more AIDS orphans, if we don't get it right now, we're not going to be able to cope with the 100,000 odd orphans that will be here in, 2008. My hope would be then that these little ones, that eventually with our constant contact, that they will come back to us. If not us, then there's a couple of other services as well. I don't mind where they go as long as they're not here. But my hope is that the constant contact will mean when they're ready, they'll come.
Zdumo makes his way up a perilous climb to see where the boys are sleeping at night.
Well, when I see the kids here, it makes me wonder what they are going through. Definitely it's not what each and everyone has gone through, but here they are going through this, and we here trying to help them and feel what they feel. The problems they usually face on the streets range from abuse from passers-by on the streets, bullying from other older boys on the streets if they're too young to be on the street, and the occasional exposure to substances, including glue. I mean, it's a countless number of problems that they do face, yeah. Some of them may have taken decisions to be on the street, but it definitely wasn't their choice.
Go to bed. You as well. Come on. Good night, guys. See you in the morning, okay?
Thank you.
It's very hard to foretell exactly how any of these young people will end up, but certainly our track record is such that I'm very familiar with lots of them who have been very successful. I'm also familiar with those who haven't taken the message, the ones that we haven't succeeded with. But the vast majority of young people who come through the system, since they are not in any way hung up on crime or hung up on habits which are not redeemable, that we do succeed with them. And the transformation is such that it's, in my capacity, I suppose, from what I am professionally, miraculous, that you do see young people coming, having had experiences at home which are pretty terrifying, lost all their childhood, lost their happiness, lost their soul, and coming to us, and after a month or two, they're normal. They have normalized in the most extraordinary way. They're laughing, they're smiling, they're talking to adults, which they would never do before. They have somehow or other got back their childhood, and the tear has gone.
From Nanti, where la gite swasi.